Yeah, we're excited. The season's rolling along. We had our last regular season meet down in Kernersville, North Carolina. High Point University hosted a meet on the course that the high school state championships is on. So we're real excited. It was an easy trip on Friday afternoon. We were able to get back for the homecoming festivities. So we were real thrilled with how things turned out for the men's team. Going into this meet, we changed a few training options going into this week. Held a few guys out just to make sure they were ready for conference, and we came away with the first win at a vert cross meet since we've been going down there the last 5 years. So real excited with our freshmen are doing a really good job. We have a guy who tried out for the team, Ethan Barber, is doing really well. And Oliver Wilson Cook came in and finished fourth for us. So we're real excited with going down to Kernersville and winning that on the men's side. On the women's side, we moved up to 6K. So for many of the athletes on our women's team, this was their first opportunity to run a 6K. It's not a particularly fast course, but our athletes we're able to keep our time gap between the 1 and 5 athletes on the women's side over the extra kilometer about the same time as we are over 5 kilometers. And really happy with the progress of Kylie Frady, a young lady who's a half miler, and she's moving up to the 6K, and she ran probably a 3-minute PR. She went through the 5K at her PR for 5K and was able to finish top 5 as an individual. So she's doing a great job for us. And then our 3 freshmen, first time over 3K, were number 3, 4, and 5 for us going into this meet. So we're real excited about the development of the freshmen with Sarah Sandroider, Maddie Provo, and Lila Peters.
So, Coach, you mentioned the women running a 6K. They're kind of in the middle of the season, and now conference you're going back to a 5K. Does that present some difficulty maybe for them in terms of training, or also since NCAA regionals will be a 6K in a couple of weeks?
No, actually that's one of the reasons why we choose vert cross, because they do a 6 kilometer. Very few events here in North Carolina will run a 6K that we can get to. So this gives those athletes an opportunity to challenge themselves over the distance that the NCAA championships is contested over. But for training purposes, it really doesn't change much of what we do. We're training for 5K, 6K. Some of our half-milers like Kylie Frady and Maddie Provo really didn't change it. They just went into a different mindset in the race.
Okay, and looking on the men's side, Isaac Benz again, another top 10 finish. I think overall you had 5 in the top 20. Talk about how the men's team has just consistently had a group that's performing at a high level all year.
Yeah, that's been one of our pleasant surprises. We've got a group probably right now, 10 men between 24-15 and 25-40. There's very few schools in the Southeast, let alone in the Sun Belt, that can match that depth. They definitely stepped up their training. We've increased our mileage. We've changed a few things with our training program that has led us to be way more consistent. We still have athletes trading out in our top 5, which is really good because, it is the cold and flu season. And we have athletes just like everybody else, catch a cold, maybe come down with a little bit of fever. But every time something happens to an athlete on the men's side, we have another athlete that steps up. This week, Ben Signorelli was our number 3 athlete in the race, and he'd normally been running number 5 and 6. So he was able to step up. And it's been good. It's been a pleasant surprise to have that many athletes performing that well. We just got to keep them healthy.
Okay, we'll end with this. Now you're on the conference. You've had success on both the men's and women's sides in the past couple of years, with the men winning 2 years ago here, the women taking 2 of the last 3. So you have veteran runners on both sides who have been there, done that. So talk about what their leadership may mean with some young runners on both sides competing in their first ever conference meet.
Well, on the men's side, having lost to University of Texas Arlington, a tough battle, I think the men are highly motivated to get back in there and see what they can do and match what the women's team has done. So on the men's side, we'll line up 7 men. Out of those 7 men, 5 of them will have competed at least 2 conference championships at the college level. And then our 2 freshmen are going in being ushered along by these upperclassmen. It's going to be a much improved overall team depth. University of South Alabama has done a really good job in this past week and has shown that they can compete for the conference meet. And then Arkansas State has consistently gotten better and shown that they can compete. UT Arlington, it's going to be a battle. We could finish anywhere from 1st to 4th, but very few schools in the Sun Belt have the depth that we have and interchangeability amongst our men. On the women's side, our top 3 young ladies, Kylie Frady, Sarah Venable, and Izzy Evely. Izzy was freshman of the year last year in the conference. Our top 3 can run with anybody's top 3 in the conference. But we're also going in with 7 young ladies. Only 1 athlete out of those 7 have any experience at a conference championship level in cross country. So they're a little bit untested. We're going to be relying on 3 young freshmen, Sarah Sandroider, Maddie Provo, and Lila Peters. And then a senior, Natalie Richardson, will be graduating. This is her first opportunity to run at a conference cross-country meet. So a little untested, but they've been showing that they're up to the challenge.